What up, guys? Welcome to the channel and welcome to week number 4 of my own lean strength program. I'm kind of customizing it. I am following the protocol with my main benching movements, but then after that, I'm kind of customizing what I'm doing to get my bench back. If you're unfamiliar, I took time off, especially during lockdown, from pressing altogether, and then when lockdown was done, I did that whole 8-week peaking cycle to hit that 600 squat and 650 deadlift with no benching at all. I did this because I injured my shoulder slightly outside of the gym. It was moving stuff around out of a basement and then sleeping on it. That nice combination started irritating my shoulder, not too bad. And I was actually still able to bench press through it because it didn't happen from pressing. So initially the pressing movement didn't hurt it, but just constant volume stopped it from healing up like it should have. And it just started getting worse and worse and worse. So finally I just said, fuck it, let me just step away from pressing altogether, focus on the other lifts, let this thing heal altogether. And so we're diving back in, and we definitely lost a little bit of strength. So I'm basing my max off of 405 pounds or 184 kilos instead of my actual max, which is 425. Because there's no way I'm good for 425 right now. So we're gonna keep it conservative. My max right now is 405, and all my percentages are based off of 405. Couple of changes I'm making. So this is day 1. This is my light variation day, right? And I'll get into what I'm doing in a second, but the basic changes I'm making off the bat. My grip is being moved in closer for one. So it used to be middle fingers on the rings. And then I realized before I stopped benching recently that when I slid it inward to my ring fingers on the rings, and then eventually even my pinkies on the rings, it kind of felt really good. I got a nice little pop out of there. Also, it's just potentially safer on the shoulders. Good rule of thumb is if you have a big wide arch, you actually want your humerus to be more lined up with the barbell. That's why you see big archers kind of with flared elbows. They're not totally flared, but they look more flared than tradition. That works with a big arch. Wide grip, big arch, humerus in line with the barbell. However, if you have a flatter back, less of an arch, or a closer grip, then you do want to kind of start tucking those elbows in a little bit more. About 45-degree angles. You don't want them right in against your sides. That came from equipped lifting where you use the shirt to get pop out of the hole. For raw lifters, you kind of want like a 45-degree angle like that, but it's going to be different from person to person. Anyway, we're now doing it with pinkies on the rings. And guys, a little tip, different gyms, different barbells have different ring measurements. So like most power bars are the same, the Texas power ball, the Ohio power ball, but like if you go to like a commercial gym with commercial barbells, the rings might be all over the place. So what I do is I pick the center of the bar, I put my elbow on it, and I lay my hand out flat, and I look at where the ring on this power bar lands on my hand, and for me it lands right on that bottom knuckle, that the first hinge of my middle finger. So now when I go to a new gym, I'll do that. I'll find the center, I'll lay it out, I'll see where that knuckle line lands, and mentally that'll be my rings. This is how you avoid making different grips on different bars if you go to different gyms. The other tiny change I'm making is just switching back to a flat foot. I was on my toes for a little bit, but traditionally I was always a flat foot bencher. So now I'm just switching back to flat foot for the time being. It just feels good. Both styles honestly work really well for me. I've hit PRs with both stances and neither one really throws me off. So, but flat foot is just kind of my origin. That's my home. So today is day 1, which means it's a variation of bench. Today I'm doing a 2-second long pause. I've been turning it into a 3-second long pause. And you want to make sure that long pause is a soft touch. So in other words, we're not letting the bar sink down into our sternum like this. What we're doing is we're trying to just touch the fabric of our shirt with the barbell and not our skin beneath the shirt. It's impossible. If you're touching the fabric of the shirt, you're going to be touching your skin, obviously. But if you mentally aim for that objective, just touching the fabric of your shirt, it's going to allow you to keep a really soft touch. And what this does is it doesn't give your arms a rest. When you let it sink in your sternum, your arms can kind of rest. No good. That's gonna not build strength at the bottom. The more tension you keep in those arms for a pause, the more strength you're gonna have pushing it back up. You're building that strength, that tension at the bottom. And then 2, it's keeping you way, way tighter. So I complete 5 sets of 3 with these long pauses with 271 pounds this week, and this weight will increase as the weeks continue. I like other variations as well. Spoto pressing is one of my favorites. I'm a big fan of 3-second negatives, but the long pauses are great. There's something everyone can benefit from. There's something beginners can do quite easily, and if you're coming off of a shoulder injury, they're less taxing on the shoulders than the Spoto press. I'm also incorporating a heavier close grip press on this day instead of my incline dumbbell pressing to really hammer the triceps now that I'm using a closer grip. 265 pounds this week for a couple of sets of 5. The weight's increasing by increments of 10 pounds each week, and I am keeping detailed notes on what exactly I do each week so I can go back and tie it into a program. For now, I'm kind of experimenting, a little bit of trial and error, so I got to keep detailed notes on what I do with it each week. This next variation I just started doing after I saw Ryan Keneally doing it in an old school video. It's originally a Louis Simmons West Side thing. I don't even know the name of these, but they're just really, really cool. Great for your triceps, great for lats, chest, everything. So check it out. The way I teach them to people, if you've never done it before, is start with them above you like you're gonna press them with a neutral grip. Bring them down as if you're doing a close grip press. Then roll them back, and then roll them back over like you're doing a pullover. So pull them over, so back here, pull them over, and then close grip press them up. So down, back, pull over, close grip press. But once you get smooth at them, you want to turn it into one fluid motion, and it kind of turns into like a skull crusher, close grip press, pull over hybrid, and it looks more like this. So we'll throw some weight on.
Welcome back to day number 2 this week of bench pressing. This is the fun day, the exciting day, regular competition bench press day. And today we are going to work up to our first somewhat heavy single in ages. For the last 3 weeks, it's been all rep work with 70% or less on the bench press. Today, we get to work up to a training single of around 85%. 350 pounds or 159 kg, a big 350 bench. And it's funny, I was kind of excited, nervous going into this, not because I thought I might fail it. This is a little bit less than what I would open with at a meet, so I knew I could hit this, but it's just been so long since I've been on a structured bench press program. I just didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how I'd feel. I'm also trying to make everything competition standard, so I have the shorter, stiffer competition spec bar. I have kilo plates. I want to make this bench as legit as possible. And that moved awesome. I was extremely happy with how that felt, how that moved from my first single back. No complaints at all. That was beautiful. I then did back offsets with 304 pounds, which is about 70%. Again, it's not realistically, it's lower than 70% going by my real max. But again, when you're coming off of a hiatus, your former max probably isn't your max anymore. You have to be honest with yourself. So realistically, I'm probably good for like a 405 bench at this point, not 425. I have to own that and use that to my advantage. So this is 70% of 405, 304 pounds, move great. On this day, I incorporate a very, very light close grip press to kind of balance out how heavy we were going on close grip the former day and how heavy we went on bench today. So very light today was only 175 pounds just for 2 sets of 5. Super easy, just moving the bar quick and springy. And then, of course, I did finish this workout off with my typical bodybuilding upper body workout, which is all in my lean strength program.
Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can now use the code NICK25 to get 25% off of steak, Piedmontese steak, all their steak and beef, everything on their site. I put it in the info box below. 25% off all of it using the code NICK25. Grab it while this code lasts. I got a steak hookup. I don't know how long this will last for.